Mr. Kelly wants to create a rectangular feeding pen for his chickens, but only has 80 meters of fencing. He decides to use the side of his house as one side of the pen. So, if you draw a picture, I think we had one of these in our homework. If you draw a picture, then you have like his house along, one side. And his fence, say, of his area would be like this. So we're going to call this, the side of the Kelly's house is the length, okay, and this is going to be, let's call it X. And we know it has to add up to 80 because he only has 80 meters of fencing. So then the fence, 80, that distance, is going to be equal to 2x plus L. So they want us to write, X is the width, and we want area. So area in terms of X. Area is length times width, or X times Y, or X times L. It doesn't matter. Since they want X to be W, it's kind of weird, but we'll use X. So area would be X times whatever L is. Well, I'm going to isolate the L in this other equation by subtracting the 2x on both sides. So I know L is equal to 80 minus 2x. And I'm just substituting it in over there. And then simplifying it. So this would be 80x minus 2x squared. So when they're asking you, to write area in terms of x, that means x is the only variable that you can have right there. Now the next part, they ask you about the domain. The way I looked at it is this. I knew that if they only have 80 meters, okay, so I knew if L was 0, let's see, if there was no length at all, then that means 2x would be equal to 80 and x would be equal to 40. But I knew that didn't make sense because there's no way it's going to be 0 wide, you know what I mean, or 0 in length. So I knew that x had to be between 0 and 40, had to be less than 40. You probably could get a little bit more specific than that, but at a minimum, I know it can't be any more than 40, So that's where that came from. As far as on number 18, let me see if I can slide over here. I had x is greater than 12 here, and x is less than or equal to 12 here. But it doesn't matter which one has the or equal to with it. You could put it on the top or you could put it at the bottom. It just can't be both. Okay, so one or the other. And then let's see, number 19 you asked about. Okay, 19. A rectangle has a base on the x-axis and two upper corners on the parabola. Draw this scenario. Okay, so here we are. A parabola, negative x squared plus 20, so it's going to open down like that. This is going to be 20. And then we're going to have a rectangle, base x, two upper corners on the parabola. Okay, so you know what? Let me change the color just to make it prettier. Okay, so if I draw a rectangle in here, we're going to pretend that's nice and straight. Okay, there's our rectangle. All right, so if we do that, and they tell us to label the base and height in terms of x. Well, I know this distance right here from 0 to, to there, that length is x, and it's x over here. So, on both sides, there's a negative x, there's a positive x. This height to get y, well, that is actually on the circle, and we know y is equal to 20 minus x squared. So I want to write, if I write my ordered pair for this one, it's going to be x comma 20 minus x squared in terms of that. All right, so now let's see what else we got. Find the function of the area. Okay, area, a of x. Area would be length times width, or x times y, or whatever, base times height, whatever you want to call it. So the length of the bottom of that is 2x, and the height is the y, which is, well, let me put a parentheses because it's more than one term. It's 20 minus x squared. Oops. Okay. 20 minus x squared. So if we simplify that, the area is 40x minus 2x cubed. There we go. Okay, what's the largest possible area of this rectangle? At this point, you're going to need your graphing calculator. I would use the graphing one. That'd be the easiest. And you're going to go where it says y equals, y1 equals, in that graphing part that we did, and type in 40x minus 2x cubed. And then look at the graph and find the vertex here that we're looking for, the highest point. So you're looking for the maximum. So do that second trace and find the maximum. And it should tell you that x is equal to 2.58 at the maximum. And then if you plug it back into your equation, if area is 2.58, x is 2.58, then you plug it back into the one we found right there, which is 40 times 2.58 minus 2 times 2.58 cubed. And that tells us it's like 86 point whatever, 0.026488. And of course this is square units because it's area. All right, I hope I answered all your questions.